Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Ears to the East, where we're doing a surprise part 3 to what I think is actually one of the nicest little video series we did. And it's come from the idea of we always have that theme song thing we do most weeks. And someone suggested, songs that make you snap out of a bad mood, put you in a good mood. And that just became a whole thing. Like I did 4 songs that Neon quizzed me about. Neon did 4 songs. But Benedikt was away at the time, and so we're really glad that he has got 4 songs. Now, it's my turn to quiz you about these. Just a reminder for anyone who doesn't know about the first 2 videos, how we do it. Basically, we have a little chat, and then when we get started, I will just give my opinions on the songs that Benedikt has given me, and then he'll tell me why these songs are those ones that snap him out of a bad place, put him into a good place, and because these songs, for a best part, are ones that are quite important to us, this whole subject's run quite deep, then hopefully we'll get a little bit of some fun ones, but also some stories and really hear Benedikt's views. So how easy was it making this list, dude?
I would say I had way too many songs.
Yeah, we had that problem. Yeah, we had that problem.
But I found out some interesting perspective, but I will get into that later.
Oh, okay. So are we ready to dive straight in? Do you think? All right.
Go ahead.
He's ready to go. It's like we've had to.
I'm interested to hear what you think about the songs, because I listened to your songs and Neon's songs as well, and I think you all had quite a different approach, I would say.
I think you mentioned that you had, because they were quite long. You haven't had a chance to watch the full videos, like of what we both said. But it was interesting because for my songs, I think like my songs, I was going for almost like a therapeutic angle. I wanted songs that would be like lift you up and fight against like whatever's making you feel down. But I wanted them to be that sort of song where they were not overly fluffy, with exception to one, where they felt real, they felt honest, and they felt like cathartic in that way. And I think like Neon's ones were really like raging against the misery. They were like, they were more like the
that one, what was it called, Julika song?
Oh god, yeah.
I was like, whoa.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
how is that a happy song?
That was. Did you hear what I said about that song yet, though?
Yeah, I saw that part.
I didn't hate it. I was really surprised too. There you go. So, we're talking of unexpected choices. I think your list was not like massively unexpected, but at the same time, I think you went for artists who I mainly expected, but I really liked the song choices. It was more the individual choices of songs that you went for, which really surprised me. And so to start off, we're going to talk about the first song you selected, which was "Catharsis" by Passcode. I'll give my quick thoughts on this first of all. I mean, Passcode as a group, I really like. Must admit, I've liked them even more since Emily's joined. I know we had a slight disagreement about this, but I think like Emily's like form of like doing the scream voice is like one of the few artists who I actually really enjoy when she does it. But here, even more so, that it's used very sparingly towards the end as like a final blast of, I'd say, catharsis. This is it's very melodic. It's heavy in places, but the heaviness is more just because it's got some emotional impact. It's not something that you're clearly not supposed to take it as just a fluffy ballad. It's got some emotional intensity, which is delivered in having that the sort of the rock chops. But it is primarily for me a very melodic song. It feels very much like a much more steady song than you'd normally expect from Passcode, but not in that sort of again, doesn't feel like they're setting out any of the qualities that make them who they are. Ultimately,
but it's not a typical Passcode song.
Yeah, it's got all the hallmarks that you know who made it, and yet it's a very different beast from their normal tracks. I would say the name Catharsis, it's both cathartic and also a little bit soothing as well. I found it somewhere between catharsis and also somewhat calming. But I can see it. Whether it would like suddenly like be something to snap me out of a bad mood, I don't know. But I certainly think it would be a sort of song where it's got a therapeutic quality to it. So why'd you pick this song?
I mean, that's kind of what I was hinting at before. When I'm in a bad mood, I don't actually enjoy like the super happy stuff a lot. When I'm in a bad mood and like some super fluffy song, like you were saying, would come on, I'd probably skip it because that's, I don't know, so far away from my current mood that I just cannot relate to it. And this song, it has this uplifting, soothing, like you said, quality, and very melodic, but it still has a bit of sadness, that a bit of a more serious, not necessarily happy touch to it. And that's something I think I need in the music. And also, I think you can say that for all the songs except maybe Starlight, they are kind of
Spoiler!
they're kind of a bit more toned down and, not as heavy as I'm usually consuming my music, I would say.
Because we've talked about heavy music before, not to repeat anything. I mean, you've obviously mentioned that like sometimes heavy music it can have an emotional effect, but it's not the entire point. And so in a way, I kind of feel like this song, like, nails that element of maybe an area in your palette where sometimes again you need something more soothing. And I agree with what you say in that I think we've all kind of said this, that a song that's too fluffy, it's kind of almost irritating when you're not in a good mood because it just bounces off you because it's so opposite. Would you say that also maybe goes the other way, that if something's too angry, too heavy, that in a way it doesn't feel helpful, it just feels like it's, maybe that side?
I mean, yeah, again, that's so subjective. Like,
Well, yeah, I
everyone
mean, from
has
your
their
from your
own
views.
stuff. Yeah, for me, actually, the heavy stuff can work. But I think, that you have to distinguish between different types of bad mood. Because you can be sad, you can be angry, you can
Mm,
be all kinds of
mm,
in a bad mood.
mm.
And yeah, when I'm like angry and mad about something, then the heavy stuff works quite well, I would say. What a surprise. Um, yeah, but like when I'm more in that sad mood, I don't know, not really looking forward to anything, then I'm, yeah, kind of more in that relaxing, soothing vibe.
So
Yeah.
this song's kind of more of a pick me up for a day where you're just not feeling it, and it's just like the world's kind of on your shoulders. It's not like something's really pissing you off. It's just like just this is a day when shit isn't quite working, and you just need something to like help a little bit.
Yeah, probably. There's some days where actually nothing is really bad or wrong, but you just are not feeling pretty
Yeah.
great. You just wanna, I don't know, waste the day on your couch.
Yeah, I actually think that's actually now you've described it like that. Although I kind of got this choice, now you've described it like that. I think I can get the context of this a little bit more. It's interesting because it's called catharsis, and I do think it's kind of
Yeah.
cathartic. But I usually think of catharsis as being like the big burst of letting your emotions out, whereas this is
Yeah, to
kind
me,
of
actually, the song, I would agree. It's not like the song is the catharsis. It's more like this is the feeling I get after catharsis, is what I get from this song.
oh
Kind of relieved. I'm not sure.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That actually makes sense. So like after you've gone through the anger with the heavy music that has like met you at the emotional level that you're at, and once you've like kicked the shit out of whatever you need to make yourself feel better, and you've like blasted every single grindcore song you could find. This is the moment where you're sort of like you're coming down from it, and you just need to like reset back to normal, and this is the song that brings you there. And so you're just on your
Yeah.
couch like, fuck it, I'm done. Done. Yeah, I like that. I like that description. Well, if you're good, I'll use that as a stepping off point to jump to the next song,
Yeah. Sure.
which is we were talking about how you don't want fluffy songs. And you did the same thing as me, which is you said that in the first song, and then just like me, you went into the second song, and you kind of somewhat shot yourself with
I would
yeah.
still say it has that kind of sad,
You'll
serious
you'll have your
touch.
chance. You'll have your chance. So Well, I've got to say, I love the choice as in Gacharic Spin. What a fantastic band to have on this list. I actually, the more I thought about it, I was surprised I didn't include something like Replica, actually. But yeah, I mean, here you've gone for an older one. You've gone for the song I believe is called Final Fantasy, actually, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, Final Fantasy. Um, and so this one, I don't remember the last time I saw the video for this. I don't think I've seen the video, if at all, in years. They look super young here. Tomo on the vocals. They look much younger, and the whole vibe, the whole way it's written, everything. This is like definitely one of their most J-poppy type songs. It's got a real J-poppy vibe. Comes across in the video. Not that like a Gacharic Spin have ever been shy of a little bit of cutesy poppy imagery, but this is really leaning into the Tomo vibe of like cutesy fun, a little bit of insanity, color. Um, I think the reason why I got this, and again, I'm going to say something similar to what I said about Wasta when I picked them, but I think this is actually a very good choice. And the reason why I think so is because sometimes you can have something where, okay, it is doing that thing where it's just hitting you with the happiness. But the reason why there are rare examples like this where it works is because it's kind of twofold. One, it's so not taking itself seriously that in a way it's
That's
kind.
one thing I wanted to say.
Okay, that's it. So this is what we're going to agree on.
Yeah.
It's so not taking itself seriously that in a way you don't feel patronized because you kind of feel like its insanity is something that you're on board with. You know, that's something you're doing together. And the other thing is because musically it has so much quality under the hood that again, there is a feeling that the song is not just all on the surface. There's enough depth underneath it that you feel like, okay, this song is actually this song is taking a wry smile and it's kind of more nudging me. It's doing that. So hey,
Yeah.
hey, hey. So that's the way I read
That's
it.
kind of yeah, that's kind of why I chose that song because it has that fluffy quality, but it's not like shoving it in your face. It's more like slowly pulling your cheeks up.
That's cute. I like that. Smile. I can genuinely
Yeah.
believe Tomo would do that. I can imagine her doing that.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Tomo is usually just so happy. I'm not sure. Were you finished?
Yeah, that's right. No one ever knows.
Probably never.
I'll disappear from frame. Anyway, please continue.
Yeah, but you know, Tomo, she's just, yeah, I mean, her smile and just her vibe. It's really, yeah, it's just happy. I don't know. It's pretty upfront in your face, I would say, but the music actually of the song isn't. Like I said, I feel there's still some sadness left in the song. Um, but it's kind of working through that. And you know, at the end, you're just happy. Na, 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 na. I
Yeah,
don't know. This song works really well, and I think also her vocal tone, it sounds pretty like natural in the song. There's not a lot of
yes.
effect on it. And that rawness, I think, and like you said, also the song in general, it it has enough deepness, but it's not necessarily a super complicated song.
Relatable.
So yeah, yeah. But I mean, like, it's still because if a song is like too complicated and too wild, also musically, doesn't really work for me when I'm in a bad mood because then I have to like really focus on the music and to like try to find out how am I feeling about this, and that's just not something I want to do when I'm in a bad mood. And this song, it's simple enough that I can just listen to it, but like yeah, like we said, sneakily rises my mood.
Yeah, I guess you don't want to be when you're in a bad mood. You don't want to be tested. It's like just keep it simple. Yeah, so sneaking in the subtleties is really good. I also think you made a really good point there about how like pure and direct her voice sounds. A lot about the visuals and about the recording style has a bit in common with like the like you listen to like unsigned J-pop artists or underground idol groups where it's really all very simply put together. And for what might be lacking in professionalism, there's this weird earnest, honest quality when the video looks like it was recorded on no budget and like the person's voice sounds like it was like a one take and things like that. And however they put this together, this has that feeling. It feels very earnest. It feels very like low budget and honest. And I don't mean that as an insult. I think that's placed to what
Yeah,
you were
I
saying.
know.
Yeah. So, anything else you want to add to that one, or should we move on to what I think might be quite a big one? This next one.
I mean, I found it interesting that you just said you would have added songs like I think you said Replica, because that to me, like a Gacharic Spin song, because that to me is a really like frantic song, and I don't think it would put me in any
Yeah,
uplifting mood.
I think I meant, yeah, I was saying that because we were talking about Gacharic Spin, but I think I was still thinking about like the catharsis that we were talking about with the
Hmm.
last song. In that, I think, yeah, I mean, I'm just sort of saying it off the top of my head. If I really listened to it, it probably wouldn't be the most useful one. I mean, if I think Catchy Catchy Armor, ironically, probably would be more uplifting. But I think that sometimes you need something to like really let the emotion out. But yeah, Gacharic Spin songs as a general seem to be so like fun and upbeat, but with an underlying sense of we're not patronizing you. It's like they can do something. I mean, like they can dress up in a burger outfit, and it never feels patronizing. It never feels like they're going, "Ha ha! Isn't this all stupid?" They're not. You know, I mean, however daft they want to look on stage or whatever gimmicks they want to use, there's never a feeling that they don't actually take what they do seriously. You can tell they take what they do very seriously. Um,
But in a fun way.
yeah, exactly. You can be serious about making good quality, fun music, which is one of the reasons why Gacharic Spin are just
Can be serious in a burger costume.
yeah, yeah. I mean, like if anyone like looks at Oreo and says, "Oh, she's just playing around," it's like, really? Listen to her voice, watch her play. So
Yeah.
she's a consummate professional, despite what she decides to put on herself. Yeah,
True.
so I think that was I really I like that choice. I obviously a bit of Gacharic Spin bias, but I like that choice a lot. Um, so yeah, I wanted to bring on to the next one. Now, this is interesting because obviously you've picked well not just Starlight by BabyMetal, but you sent a specific video, and this was interesting because obviously Neon did the same thing when he picked the Onodare I can't remember what it's called. The Black BabyMetal song.
Daisakusen. I'm not
Basically,
sure which what you pronounce by that.
he picked a very specific live performance, and you know, BabyMetal are one of those bands where their live performances are often much more hammed up. There's more of a theatric quality to them, which this definitely has. I mean, already we're talking about a song that is not exactly light on drama, but this was very big performance. Big intro. I don't know if it was specifically this one performance that was like this, or if this is just the way they play it, and this was a good recording of it. But I already knew before I pressed play that this is definitely an uplifting. This is what I call an anthemic song. You know, it's a sort of song where it's got a rousing, almost soundtrack like quality, where it builds you up with this big swell. You know, it's not fast moving chord changes. It's all just big. Every chord is impactful. Every note of the melody is designed to sort of make you want to burst out and sing along. But the intro as well was interesting because it added an extra layer of like ramping things up. It built up to the drama of the song. It gave the drama a little bit more impact by building to it through that sort of long, slow introduction. So yeah, I definitely found this to be a very big and again, I'm not sure 100% what mood I would best use this for and where I'd expect it to drop me off, but I would definitely say this is a song that definitely has emotional impact. Definitely has emotional impact. So considering it's BabyMetal, I think we're probably going to get a bit of a story for this one as well. So I'm gonna let you tell me whether this is just it's good because it's BabyMetal or if there's more to this one.
Well, this to me, I would say first off, Starlight, it's not exactly the most popular BabyMetal song.
Hmm.
Just, yeah, don't see that a lot mentioned. Um, about this live performance, I mean, the intro, especially exactly what you said, but also the ending. I feel the last chorus when that hits in this live performance, it's so good. It really puts me on another like plane of existence, for lack of better words. It's so like ethereal, like not like uplifting in the general you get happy sense, but like it makes you float. You know, that fly, that high held note combined with the very, very heavy guitar sound, bam, 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 you know, and that's it's just such a perfect contrast to me, and kind of like the more, you know, when I'm more a bit in an angrier mood, and that, you know, that combination of that really heavy, angry guitar and the so soothing, uplifting, ethereal vocals on top, you know, it kind of dissolves the anger.
That's a really good description. I can feel
Yeah.
that. I can feel that. So,
You know, that song, it's really important to me because that's exactly the feeling. I mean, that it was my favorite Baby Metal song, or probably one of my favorite songs in general for a long time. I'm not so sure anymore with the other one because they're, you know, Mirror Mirror has kind of a similar feeling. And I love that song as well.
yeah.
But yeah, this song, it's so special to me. Yeah, don't know a lot of music that can reproduce that kind of vibe, which is also why I love the other one so much. Yeah. And also Mirabi Frame, which is a really small group that I just discovered a couple of weeks ago. Go check them out.
Similar vibe to this year's.
Yeah, also that, you know, very soothing vocal quality, but with, yeah, kind of that contrasting, really heavy metal. I mean, they always do that in their music, but this is a special version of that.
I think so. Like it's kind of like a form of escapism, really. You feel like transported in a way, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not like running away from it. It's more like, you know, that sounds so stupid, but
No, no. I mean,
um, you
I know we're going into
realize,
pseudo psychology, but
yeah,
we're expressing kind of how we
yeah, it also
feel.
sounds so baby metal. But when I listen to that chorus, and especially that last chorus, it's like I realize the beauty of the world and everything else, you know, it's kind of okay. I can deal with it because it's just so beautiful.
I no, I actually I think that's something that people don't say enough because I can't. I to be honest, I would be really disheartened if there was anyone who couldn't relate to that, or at least I'd be really confused. I think that's something we can all relate to, but I don't think like enough people really say there is those
I feel
pieces of
nowadays a lot
music.
of people like they don't see any beauty in the world. They just see the negative sides,
And that's how my channel was born.
unfortunately.
um, yeah, I think there's a lot of nihilism around, and I think we can all occasionally fall into that pit. But yeah, it is true that sometimes you listen to something,
Maybe not nihilism, just despair.
perhaps. I think though there is. I mean, you know, even before like contemporary music, there's always been that thing where certain art, whether it be architecture from, you know, Roman architecture, Greek architecture, or like paintings of the Renaissance or stuff, there's always been that art where for people of the time, it hits in the right way, it works for them, it expresses what they're feeling. And, you know, you hear people talk about it, you know, this art for the people who viewed it was something that just made you look at the world and feel good about the world. And I don't see any reason why that can't be true of contemporary music if it's beautifully written. And this is a beautifully written song, beautifully played as well. Um, also,
And beautifully performed.
yes, yes. Well, I was going to add because the way you described the backing, you know, sort of those heavy bah, 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 guitars and the beautiful voice over the top. In a way, that arrangement could be argued to be somewhat Love Bites ish. But I think the difference is that if you listen to Asami's voice, it always sounds so big and grand, and yet with which is I love, but with Sue's voice, there is this underlying sense of innocence in it still. Even now, as a grown adult, her voice is not like that operatic style. It's more, she's a very good singer, but there's still a sort of an innocence and a humanity that maybe makes her voice more relatable than many of her peers.
Yeah. You know, I don't want to say Sue's voice doesn't sound powerful because it absolutely does, but it's a different kind of powerful than Asami.
Yeah, I mean, look, I know probably there's going to be someone jump out of the woodwork and get hate for this, but I think being realistic, I think most people would be okay with me saying like Asami's voice is much bigger than Sue's. It's
Yeah, I would
that
agree even.
yeah, that's no disrespect to quality or anything like that. It's just like it's like some things are bigger than others. Yeah, and so in regards to Sue's voice, it's powerful, but the natural sound of her voice has a slightly more um, delicate but human quality to it. She sounds very relatable when she's singing, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say like Asami just sounds more full,
Yeah.
and Sue has a more thin quality to it, which is very much intended and very much great.
Yeah, exactly. So as I said, that's for me. That's part of the
Yeah.
selling quality is that it sounds kind of relatable. There's a human emotion to it that you can fill
Yeah.
in when you're not being quite so operatic. I am ever going to take this opportunity, I think, to bring in the fourth song, if you don't mind, if I may.
Yeah. Tell me what you thought of the vocals there.
Well, this one was really interesting because so now apologies if I get this wrong. I believe the song is called Tokyo Bug Night, and it's by Denonbu. Denonbu, is that the name of the artist or?
I think no, it was something with SH. I'm actually not sure myself. Kion or something.
I'm trying to read the
Uh,
thumbnail thing.
I only know the feature guy who basically did the production on this song.
As always, there will be links below. I swear I'll remember this time.
I mean, we can check this real quick.
He's gonna check. Well, I'll give you my thoughts at the same time. So
Yes.
for me, this was
Ian Inubusaki. Shian.
there you go. I
Oh
learned
yeah,
something.
Denonbu as well. I'm not sure what.
Okay, because I was just thinking, because I'm wearing my Denon
Yeah,
headphones, so like
check
not
the links
sponsored.
yourself.
Sponsor me, people. I want sponsorship. So so this song, the first thing that came across to me, kind of like without a shadow of a doubt, was the fact that this was, it was absolutely in a more poppy realm than I would usually expect you to go. But I know you also have like this thing for like sort of future funk styles, and they get really styles that are like not always rock, but you kind of you definitely have like a certain set of sounds that really seems to click with you. So in a way, I could kind of get why you were into this song, but I actually myself, this kind of really worked for me as well because I found, ironically, I would say that this to me was a good example of what we were discussing with the Passcode song, and that this for me was very soothing. It had this kind of way that
Hmm.
it bounced along. The production, it set up a soundscape. It's not something we haven't heard before. It's a little bit poppy, but it's kind of got a bit of a dancey vibe, a little bit of a I can't remember. I don't even know what the genre that like VTubers do. It's kind of got a little bit of that produced style to it.
Yeah.
But to me, I just felt like it was very like first of all the sound was very like the whole soundscape was very clear, very easy to follow. It was very it was just smooth, soothing. The melody was beautifully done. It was weird. It's like there wasn't like one moment where you go, oh, when the chorus hits or something like that. It just felt like this song that just this melody that just glides along with this weird, very digitized, very produced sound. But as produced and artificial as the sound might be, it is soothing. It's a soundscape. It's something where it sets forward what it wants you to feel and just delivers on it. So yeah, I found this very soothing, personally.
Yeah, again, and I think that's kind of, what I found out about myself because a lot of times when I'm in a bad mood, like I said, I don't listen actually don't listen to a lot of music because it's just, I don't know, I rather do some other medium, watch a movie or something. I don't know.
Look at a painting.
Yeah.
just
Maybe
in
not so often.
just in the gallery, seething like this painting fills me with
No. Yeah,
emotions.
but I kind of discovered for myself that when I'm in a bad mood, I actually tend to go for more soothing stuff. And the good mood is actually where I go to the heavy stuff. Kind of the opposite of neon.
Yeah,
with the Julika song, at least.
We're not going to let that one go.
It was extremely brutal.
It was pretty full on. I'm kind of with you a lot on that. I think there are two sides of that. I think you can have the area where you're angry and you want catharsis, but also the area where you're angry and therefore you want the opposite to sort of help you come down. I guess it's how functional you feel about your mood at the time, how ready you are to change it, or how eager you are to indulge it. But I guess the subject of this video is primarily things that switch your mood around. So I guess indulging in a mood is perhaps not the best way, unless that immediately makes you feel
But
better.
I wouldn't say I indulge then, because yeah, with catharsis as well, and like Final Fantasy also, and this last song also, I feel all of those songs have a certain where they have this certain soothingness, if that's a word. And yeah, there's
It is
certain
now.
calmness in it through vocals and stuff. But yeah, they are also feeling uplifting to me. And yeah, especially in this very last song, I'm not sure if you could still call it future funk, but it's still very funky and very, yeah, like you said, bouncy, dancey, kind of, gets you going a bit. But with this soothing voice over top. And a lot of future funk, it's not like this. That's why I chose this song, because a lot of future funk, it's like very happy and like in your face happy. And that, like we established before, doesn't really work. But to me, future funk, it was something, I was really into future funk before I discovered Japanese music. And it actually, that's the genre that kind of got me through the most shitty, part of my life, where I was really struggling. And yeah, that was like kind of my source of happiness for a long time. That's why I just had to use some future funk.
Would you say that because I agree with what you said, that it's not future funk in the sense that I've come to know it through you, but it's certainly
It doesn't really have a lot of samples. It's more like electronic funk.
But you
probably.
can feel like a similar set of like production skills, like a similar approach was taken to the sound. And like I say, the sound for me worked really well here.
It's especially Moe Shop. He's not a French guy living in Japan. And yeah, basically he's a Japanese artist in my opinion. But his work, I don't know if you know the Kario
Pami.
Yeah, that one. The cover of Candy Candy by him, if you heard that.
Oh, I know that. Was it a cover? I know there was a remix that was like going around.
Yeah, or a remix.
Okay.
I think it's called a remix.
Um,
There's something about his production quality. It just makes the music sound really like warm, in my opinion. And every time I hear his music, I'm immediately in a good mood. I just need to hear the first few seconds, and it's Moe Shop, and I know I'm gonna love it.
Okay, yeah, I can't say I know for certain. I know that I'm pretty sure there was a cover of that song that I didn't, sorry, a remix that I didn't particularly like, but I think that wasn't that. I think it was someone else. I think there was like a whole batch of remixes from the recent Carrie Pammy Pammy, and there might have been one that I really liked. So I'm not sure. It's either something that I really liked or one that I didn't. So I really can't say, but I'm definitely going to go check that out. But yeah, the soundscape I agree with, and you mentioned about how you kind of went from future funk into like really discovering Japanese music, and in a way, this kind of feels like therefore
I
a
think it's
bridge.
kind of was a really good introduction, because there's a lot of these like kawaii voices in there, and a lot of that upbeat, yeah, kind of Japanese sounding stuff in there.
It's a bridge between two sounds that are important, I think, for you.
Yeah, it's like a bridge of like Western electronic music and Japanese kawaii music.
We did talk a little bit about how like powerful nostalgia can be in making you feel better, and I think your BabyMetal choice is obviously partly inspired by that. But I get the feeling in a way this is as well. Like sometimes the thing that brings you around is listening to a sound that is just comfortable for you. Like I mean,
Yeah,
sometimes.
that's true. That's probably future funk, and I know that even longer than BabyMetal. So yeah,
Yeah, exactly. So I
probably even
mean,
more nostalgia for me.
That's really interesting. Yeah, I think it's interesting that the choices that the three of us have gone for have been quite different. I mean, even our own selections of songs have had a good range of variation over them, but they've been quite different songs. But I I think that there have been like similar reasonings come up time and time again. Like the song that is happy but not patronizing. The song that reminds you nostalgically of a feeling that is comfortable and that that you can wear like a comfortable old set of clothes. You got that. You got the song that just gives you catharsis. The song that sort of drags you round by making you want to fight. It's interesting. There are like a similar set of things that all three of us have gone back to. Um, did you kind of feel like you discovered a little bit about yourself, about your own attitude towards
Yeah, yeah,
music and stuff?
absolutely. Like I said before, usually I don't listen to a lot of music when I'm in a bad mood, but now I had to like kind of think about it, what I am actually listening to, and those are, yeah, really songs that help me when I'm listening to this. And yeah, they are not as heavy or brutal or fast-paced or super happy than my usual music. And I think I have to find music that somehow matches my current mood. Otherwise, it's just not working.
Yeah, I guess that's that
You
bridge
know,
for
when I'm
me,
super
really, right?
happy and I'm listening to a really sad song, that's also not working for me.
Well, I'm kind of intrigued because, like, with your songs, I would say the last one, the artist name I've already forgotten. That
Oh,
that
sure.
that's it. Thank you. That one definitely would be one that I can imagine listening to in that situation. Starlight to a certain degree, but I think with Starlight, I feel like it's more escapism for me. I don't know if it would necessarily have the same impact on me. So I
To
would
me,
say
that's really like when I'm angry and I'm listening to this song. Afterwards, I'm not angry anymore.
yeah, I think that you're probably coming also coming from the places of like the particular negative emotions that we perhaps each individually feel, most commonly. Um, I think with Neon's choices as
Usually
well.
not angry that often. No, just so nobody gets the wrong idea.
Yeah, no, we're angry, depressed emo people. If only I had a fringe, it would be over my eyes. But I think with Neon's choices, they were a little bit more different, but I totally got them, and the Lisa song was beautiful as well. I was kind
Yeah,
of
that
intrigued.
was really beautiful.
Did any of the songs, did any of the eight songs prior, did any of them like seem particularly out of place to you, or any of them work particularly for you? Anything that you kind of noticed in those songs that?
Well, to me, that Julika song, I kind of get it, but I think it wouldn't work for me because there's that, that's just angry and brutal, in my opinion. There's not really that part that changes your mood.
It's like smiling whilst punching through a wall. It's
Yeah,
like, dude, there is something wrong with you.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that can help as well. I totally get that.
And any songs that maybe you think maybe would work for you moving forwards, or it's kind of hard, isn't it? Songs that like work for someone else don't necessarily work for you.
I mean, you can also choose Neon's BabyMetal song because BabyMetal is
Yeah.
always working.
I think no one's
And
going to speak
especially
to a lot
that
of
that
people.
performance, I mean, their outfits and stuff, it's just fun to look at.
So there you go. I think one thing that we've definitely learned from here is just how personal this particular subject is. Obviously, as normal, we'll go back to our more normal theme weeks following up on this one. But I thought this was a really interesting chance, and I hope that
Yeah, I
anyone
enjoyed
watching this
this.
got to. Yeah, I hope that people got to know us better. I think. Um, so I was surprised doing my video. I actually got quite choked up talking about one of the songs. I was whoa, okay, this is actually really. Oh shit! I'm actually feeling quite emotional talking about this, and it was
Yeah,
like,
when I was searching out the songs, I was also feeling like that.
yeah, it really does, doesn't it? It hits you, and I think this was very personal. So I mean, although I don't expect these videos to get as many views as a lot of our others, I
Do you
hope.
think it's like because you already connect that song prop maybe with like negative experiences?
Well, the song that actually really hit me the hardest was a song that only came out about a month ago. And it was because I'd only recently really got to the bottom of what it was. I knew that it felt quite deep at the time. But then I really started digging into it and really getting to know the artist, and I just found myself like really relating to a lot of the stuff in it. I was like, and I was actually saying when I did my
Maybe me with Mirabi Frame, because that one song I really get a similar vibe than like I get from Starlight, and that's just one of my favorite vibes. I still have to check out more by them. I only know that song,
well,
but
that is an
great
interesting
stuff.
counter, though, isn't it? For every song that hits you because there's a nostalgic element, there's also going to be like, and this is one of this is one of the beautiful things about being an active music fan, is that for everything which hits you because you're like, oh, that reminds me of this, that, the other. It's really beautiful when you can find a song that has no backstory at all. It's just a song you've picked up, and it just like, just because of the way it's written, you find it like just hits you, and you're like, oh, shit. Like, yeah, that actually really works for me. That's one of the reasons why I would never ever stop listening to music, new music. Always be looking for new music. You can have all the
Absolutely.
music in the world, you never know what's coming around the corner. So yeah, I
But
think
Metal Worst should stop with the teasing. Just release the songs so I can listen to them finally.
nah, you're gonna hear them
Ah,
all performed live a million times before you ever get to see any form of
no,
recording.
I don't wanna. I wanna listen to the full released songs first.
Corbo will only release them once he's sold 1 billion Metalverse shirts. He wants you to
And
say.
NFTs.
Yeah, you'll have like full
It really
NFT
makes me
house of them.
dislike Metalverse. That NFT
Yeah,
shit.
I mean, I I I did a
Didn't want to
video
open that. Yeah.
when BabyMetal did the NFT thing. I did a video about that, and like most people kind of agreed with my take, and it was a relatively soft take. But I got a lot of blowback as well from people who are like, "Oh, yeah." I was just like, "Oh shit, I'm never touching this subject again." Um, but yeah, I got to be. And same thing, I will say, Sue from Silent Siren during their hiatus, she was doing that girl band project where there was a lot of NFT stuff going around. Apparently, she didn't instigate it, but she was certainly sharing it. I was just like, dude, is this really what you want to do? So, yeah, when I see stuff like that, I'm just like, oh, please get back to the music or just sell me merch I can actually
Yeah.
hold. But hey, that's an
Yeah.
opinion for everyone. Um, I will say though
If you want to waste your money on that, okay.
that go for it, peeps. Or you can give it to us. Here it is. We'll make content for you.
And you can also support your favorite artists through better means,
Yeah.
like merch or actually buying their music.
Or just go to their show and just throw the fucking
Yeah.
money at them on stage. I mean, that's probably a more effective means of supporting them. Uh,
Do they have like a donation link?
they
Not
should do.
sure if I have ever seen that from any band.
I don't. If Baby Metal had a donation link, I think that might get a little bit of eyebrows raised. It's like, we at Baby Metal like to put on international shows, but we don't mind taking your spare change as well. It's like, I mean, it's
I mean,
reasonable.
everyone on the internet is doing it. Why shouldn't they do it?
That's basically what super chat is. Really, if they want a donation box, all they need to do is do a super chat. Just sit and talk to their fans on super chat for an hour, and I'm sure the
But
amount
I'd
of super
rather
chat.
have a donation box than them keeping songs from me and selling like NFT shit.
Yeah, well, go smack Cobra in the face. So,
I won't, but
it's like that was him getting out of the potential court case. I won't,
I will
but
go like, Koba!
I
Hey,
I
Koba!
so I know someone who will. Look, honestly, this was a real pleasure, and I think we all got to know each other a little bit better through this, which was nice. I hope that everyone watching at home got to know us a little bit better. Um, I really love your selections. I feel in the way that your selections they felt very similar to mine. Like I like the fact that we both chose our second song was a little bit manic and a bit fun and was a little bit
Yeah,
against the
yeah,
rest of
kind
the
of.
theory. I like the fact that we went for songs that had a recovery value, but also like the fact that your songs had a little bit of that like heavy energy that permeated through Neon's as well. So this was a bundle of fun. But I think we'll wrap that one up there now. We're at the 45-minute mark, which is usually we're not on Zoom today because we had no
True.
Xeon, but we'll try and wrap it up here to
Internet video.
stay in like keeping with our normal episode lengths, so that our people watch every episode and give us that audience retention we crave. All right. Anything you want to add to that, or anything? Any final thoughts?
I think, I mean, I hope let us know your favorite songs for bad moods, and also like, could our songs help you maybe through a bad phase, or maybe it's the opposite. Maybe you hated those songs. Let us all know all about it.
Maybe they made you deeply angry and you went out and committed some crimes that are not our
I mean,
fault.
the last time I showed Neon some future funk, he hated it.
That was kind of fun, wasn't it? You nearly killed him. Then again, I had to edit out me talking about that newest Atarashi Gakko song. That's how much I didn't like that. So, anyway, on a positive note, because now I need to go listen to something to make me feel better. Thank you so much. I really enjoyed this. 12 really great songs. Go check them all out if you haven't already. Share your songs as well. Let's all have our musical therapy together, because music is a wonderful thing. And until we see you very soon, remember to keep your ears to the east. Alright, gotta reach for the stop button because there's no neon. To the east.
Down there.
It's up. It's up.